You know how they say some moments seem ordinary when they happen, but end up becoming your favorite memory? That's exactly what this is. A memory. A joke. A moment that held so much more than laughter, healed friendship, healing, and everything. I thought I'd lost. It started in college, junior year. I was newly transferred, awkward, still carrying around the kind of grief that clings to your skin long after the tears have dried. My older brother, Sam, had passed in a car accident 6 months earlier. I wasn't even supposed to be at this college. We had planned to go to the same one since we were kids. But life doesn't ask for your plans. It just happens. Brutally. Beautifully, and without apology. I didn't talk much that first semester. I walked around campus with earbuds in, even when the music wasn't playing. It was easier that way, avoiding small talk, pretending I was fine, hiding in plain sight. Then Kane film theory class. Professor Raymond's Monday morning lectures were infamous across campus. He had a thing for dramatic entrances, and an even bigger thing for obscure 1940s cinema. The first day he walked in, slammed his bag on the desk, and bellowed, "What do Citizen Kane and SpongeBob SquarePants have in common?" That's when I met her, Nora. She was sitting 2 seats over, curly hair, denim jacket covered in patches. She muttered under her breath, both of them peaked in black and white. I snorted loudly. It was the first real sound I'd made in a classroom in weeks. She looked at me, mock serious. "We laugh together now. That means you're stuck with me." And just like that, was stuck with her. Nora was sunshine with a side of sarcasm. She had a gift for making everyone feel seen, especially the people who tried hardest to disappear. We started sitting together, then grabbing coffee after class. Then late-night study sessions that were mostly just her convincing me to watch terrible movies for the culture. One day, in the middle of an intense conversation about who would win in a fight, Shrek or Godzilla coined the phrase that would become the joke. I said, "Clearly Godzilla would stomp Shrek. He breathes fire, Nora." She smirked, narrowed her eyes, and said, "But have you considered emotional damage?" I stared at her. "Shrek would win," she declared, sipping her iced latte. "He's emotionally damaged, and that makes him unpredictable. You can't fight trauma with claws." I burst out laughing, like full body can't catch my breath laughing. People turned to look. I didn't care, and from that moment on, emotional damage became our everything. Spilled coffee on your essay? Emotional damage? Professor assigns a surprise. Essay. Critical emotional damage. Cute guy in the library doesn't notice you. Severe, irreversible emotional damage. It was ridiculous. It was ours. But it wasn't just a joke. Not really. It was a life raft. Because Nora, bless her annoying, loud, beautiful soul, knew. She knew I was barely holding myself together. She never asked about Sam directly, but she left openings. Little ones. A pause after a joke. Quiet space after a shared silence. And one night, in the glow of her living room lamps, and with Shrek 2 playing on mute behind us, I told her everything. I told her about the accident, about the voicemail I didn't answer, about the song Sam loved that I still couldn't listen to. I told her about how sometimes I felt like my life had split into 2 timelines. The before and the after end, I didn't belong in either one. She didn't say anything for a while, just handed me a tissue and rested her head against my shoulder. Then she whispered, "That's extreme emotional damage." I blinked and then I laughed. Through snot and tears and every ache in my chest, I laughed. After that, the joke grew legs. We started rating life events on a scale of 1 to 10, on the emotional damage index. Rain on laundry day. 3, break up with the barista she flirted with. 4, week 6. My panic attack during finals week. Off the charts. Seek immediate therapy and ice cream. Even made a TikTok series about it. It blew up. People stitched it, added their own ratings, made fan edits. Strangers started deeming us things like, "My ex got engaged to my cousin," emotional damage. Index, 9.7. We laughed, sure. But we also responded with kindness, because we knew jokes are often just pain in disguise. It's dressed up in humor to make them easier to carry. By the end of that year, we were inseparable. I met her mom, who was every bit as chaotic and lovable as her daughter. She met my dad, who told her, "You're the first friend of hers I've seen actually make her laugh." Our final semester, we got the chance to study abroad in London. Shared a cramped apartment with a moldy fridge and a view of a dumpster. Best 3 months of my life. We wandered through cobbled streets, got lost in bookstores, screamed emotional damage. In front of Big Ben when we missed the last tube home, but nothing gold can stay. It happened in the spring, a headache that wouldn't go away. Then, dizzy spells. Then the MRI. Nora had a brain tumor. Benign, they said at first. Treatable, hopeful. I clung to that word like it was oxygen. She was brave, braver than me. Made memes of her hospital gowns. Wrote parody songs about 4 drips. Recorded TikToks with hashtags like #tumorhumor and #CRANIOTOMY couture. But after the first surgery, things changed. Her speech slowed. Her memory flickered. The Nora I knew started to fade in bits and pieces, like a painting left in the rain. One afternoon, I sat by her bed, reading out loud the comments on one of our old videos. A user had written, "I broke my ankle tripping over my cat. Okay, emotional damage index, 5. But seeing your smile makes it a 2. Nora blinked slowly, then whispered, "Make it a 1. I laughed. My heart broke. The last time we talked really talked. She held my hand and said, "Don't stop, okay? The joke? Keep it alive, make people laugh, make them feel less alone." "I can't do it without you," I said. Her grip tightened. "Yes, you can." "You already did." She passed 3 weeks later and I did stop. For a while I couldn't look at the videos, couldn't open the drafts we never posted. It hurt too much, too real, too final. Until one night I got a message. It was from a girl in Ohio. She wrote, "My mom passed last week. I've been crying all day, but then I found your old TikToks. I haven't laughed in days, but your emotional damage index series gave me 1 full minute of peace. So, thank you." I stared at the screen for a long time, then I opened my phone camera, hit record. Today I dropped my smoothie, right in front of a guy I was trying to flirt with. Emotional damage index, 4.2. But he helped me clean it up, so maybe a 3.75. Nora would have said 2.5 if he was cute. He was shaky. It was shaky, a little awkward, but people responded. They remembered, they cared. And so did I. It's been 2 years now. The series lives on. I turned it into a podcast. Started a nonprofit in Nora's name. We send care kits to young adults and treatment filled with journals, joke books, and a little card that reads, "Rating this experience on the emotional damage index. You get a free pass. You've already survived so much." Sometimes I still catch myself reaching for my phone to text her after something ridiculous happens, like when I walked into a glass door, or when I found her favorite candy back in stock then. I remember she's still here, in the jokes, in the laughter, in the way I rate my bad days and treasure the good ones. So, what's the best inside joke I've ever been a part of? It was never really a joke at all. It was a friendship, a lifeline, a love letter to survival, and it lives on. One laugh at a time.